Hello everyone, this is Leftos from the NLSC forums, and I'm here to show you my latest tool called Roster Merge. What Roster Merge does is that it can let you combine the best of two or more rosters. For example, Hawk23 got his latest roster out, the Ultimate Base Roster version 20, which is a really loved roster from the whole, I'm guessing, the whole PC fanbase of NBA 2K12. It has 257 teams in total from both the 30 current, also 227 over the history of the NBA. So what's cool about version 20, besides all the historical teams, is that he got around to adding the 2012 draftees to their teams. All 60 rookies are into their corresponding teams. I checked, I'm a Pistons fan myself, so I checked for Drummond, Inglis and Middleton. They're all there. So that's really nice, and he did that all too quick. So let's try something. For example, a roster that is all about current teams is Albis. This is my favorite roster. I love the edits he does, especially the ratings edits, the playbook edits, everything around that. And he kept his roster pretty updated, although we haven't seen him around lately. And although I'm hoping he will make a post-draft roster, I just couldn't wait. I thought, what the hell, let's try and combine Ultimate Base Roster and Albis and see what we get. So Roster Merge allows you to do just that. You just have to go through a few hoops to, pun intended, to get the rosters you want in a format that the tool recognizes. It doesn't do rosters as the .ros files that 2K12 uses, but if you have our editor, the basic license should be enough, the free license should be enough to let you edit rosters. Since we only need the players tab, roster merge may be updated later on to allow merging other tabs as well, but for now the most important tab, the players tab, is done. So here's the Albis 5.1 roster. Let's get it opened. This is the my friend panel. So if you don't have that, don't worry, it's not necessary. Let's make sure that the players are sorted by ID and not nickname. You need the players to be in the ascending ID order. So let's open the Ultimate Base Roster version 20 as well. Here we go. So what's cool about roster merge, I'm one to talk, I made it, is that it doesn't matter if the players in the two rosters are not in the same order, if one roster has more players than the other. For example, Ultimate Base Roster has 2,926 players, while Albis 5.1 roster only has 1,562 players. So roster merge doesn't care, it only looks for players that have the same name, and if there are more than one players with the same name, it will let you pick which one should have his information copied over to the new player. So what we need to do right now is select the whole players tab from each roster. So let me press Ctrl A to select everything. Here we go. Everything is selected in the players tab. You can check to make sure. So I'm pressing Ctrl C, or I can just go to edit and copy to copy everything. I'm going to open Notepad++, my favorite text editor. Let me create a new document. You can just open Notepad or any text editor you like. Nothing too complicated. You shouldn't need to use anything complicated such as Microsoft Word or Google Docs or anything. A simple text editor should be enough. So I've just pasted everything by pressing Ctrl V. You can also go to Edit, Paste. Everything is here, all the players, and this is what we call a tab separated file. Each column from the R editor is copied over to this text file, and each column is separated by tabs. So let's try, let's do the same thing for Ultimate Base Roster. I've selected everything, I've copied, I'm going to paste here, everything's okay. All the players should be here, all 2,927 of them, since the IDs start from 0 and go to 2,926, we should have 2,927. So, okay, everything's ready. Let me just save those files somewhere I can find them easily. Let's just go to C, temp, and let me just use, I don't know, this was the Albis roster, so I'm going to type Albis 5.1 and I'm going to type UBR v20 for this one, the same folder. So we're done with our editor for now. So you must have downloaded and extracted the roster merge somewhere. Let's just run it. Here we are. It is pretty basic right now, really bare bones. It only does what it needs to do. Let's go to C, temp, any folder that you can save to is fine. So let's select that I want to copy information from the Albis roster, move it to the UBR version 20 roster. So these are the categories, that the same that our editor has. So if I'm some categories are more safe than others. I'm guessing that status, which is the team that the player plays in and whether he's an FA, a free agent or not, is a dangerous category, because if you copy which team a player is in from one roster to another, you may end up with teams that have the wrong rotations, so you may end up with a corrupt roster. So I'm not recommending you to check the status category if you're not willing to go through the trouble of changing the rotations and everything. So what I like in Albis rosters are the ratings. So I'm going to select skills, capabilities, tendencies, hotspots, hot zones, the animations, so signature shots, layup packages, dunk packages are carried over, and gear. That's the stuff I like in Albis roster for current teams. So that's what I'm going to copy. Here's an option that allows you to select whether to only copy information from the current teams or if you want to copy information from historic teams as well. If you don't care about copying historic teams, just select that. It will make the whole process much faster. So I'm going to press on do it. And here we have the tool asks us to resolve a conflict. This means that more than one players in the roster, in the Albis roster, have the same name with one player in the Ultimate Base roster. So it asks us, who should we pick to replace Allen Lavoy Allen from ID number 7. He plays for the 76ers, which is team ID 0, and here we have Albis has two instances of Lavoy Allen in his roster, one in the 76ers and one that is either a free agent or historic player, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do, the tool has already selected by default the best match, because same name, same team, probably the same player, and I'm going to tell that if it finds a best match, if it finds the player with the same name in the same team, it shouldn't ask me to do to resolve the conflict. It should do it by itself. Let's press OK. So now it asks me about John Lawyer, who was in team 22 in the Albis, who is in Team 22 in the base roster. Team 22 is the Rockets, and was in Team 2 in the Albis roster, which is the Bucks. Probably trade. So I'm going to say, okay, I recognize the trade. Copy John Lawyer from Team ID 2 in Albis roster to join Lawyer to Team ID 22 in Ultimate Base roster. And we're done. Those were the only conflicts we had to take care of. There may be more conflicts, there may be no conflicts, it all depends. So the tool did all it needed to do. So what we have now is open the file again, c temp ubr v20, that's the file we used, and the players should have the proper edits with from the Albis 5.1 from the Albis 5.1 roster. So let's take a quick look. I want to check, for example, if the values for Andre Iguodala's gear are the same in the Albis 5.1 roster. 001 BA3 and 005 DA3, the first two. They're here, 001 BA3, 005 DA3. You can see for yourself that all the gear got copied correctly. So the edits were done. I can tell you for sure that Hawk, who uses the default 2K roster, didn't have these gear changes, these colors. So what we need to do now to apply the edits to the actual roster and not these tab separated copy paste we've done is select everything again with Control A, edit, select all, should do the same. Let's copy. Let's go to the Ultimate Base roster, which we want to edit. Go back to the Players tab. Let's make a save under a different name to be sure. I'm going to name it UBR Ultimate Base Roster Test, and I'm going to select the topmost leftmost cell in this table, which is the last name of player with ID 0, and I'm going to go to edit and paste. As you can see, my CPU is working hard to paste all the data. When this is done, it was done. There was a glitch right here which meant that our editor was unresponsive doing the paste, but we should be done now. Let me check Andre Iguodala's gear to see if the changes got pasted in. Yes, 001 BA3, 005 DA3, everything is fine. Let me save that, and now what we're left with is to test the roster inside the game to see that we did everything properly. I've actually tested this, I've done exactly the same, and I have all the latest trades that Hawk23 made to his roster, but also all the players, no matter what team they're in. The modern players that Albis had in his roster now are in UBR's roster with the same ratings and skills and abilities and signature shots that Albi had done. So now I have the best of both worlds. I have the Ultimate Base Roster V20 and also the updated ratings and accessories and everything that Albis had done in his latest roster for the 30 current teams. That's pretty much all. Once you do it once, it will take much. It will be much faster than what this tutorial showed you. You should be done in 1 to 2 minutes. It shouldn't be more trouble than that. So if you have further questions, you can always visit the tools thread at NLSC, visit the forums, and go to NBA 2K12 releases and previews. Find the roster merge thread. There is probably some of you already complaining that the tool isn't working for you, so I'm going to finish this tutorial now and answer your questions there. So hope you have fun, hope you make some great rosters out of this, and that you enjoy your summer. Bye for now.